So I've just got a text from someone to say apparently there is going to be an announcement by Leo Varadkar at 11 o'clock. So I've just turned on RT Player. Hi there, my name is Carl Mullan and I'm currently taking a look at the practicalities of putting yourself into self-isolation.
Let's go over to the Department of Health. Our science correspondent George Lee is standing by there.
So still just waiting on Leo Varadkar to make his statement. Now there's rumours going around. I've been getting a few messages on WhatsApp. People saying there's talk that the schools are going to be shut down.
Coming down the steps.
Here we go.
So we'll just listen to what he has to say. Here's Taoiseach Leo Varadkar.
I need to speak to you about coronavirus and COVID-19 with our determination and our spirit. And once again, we will prevail. Thank you very much.
Like everyone probably right now at this time, my WhatsApp is hopping. I think what I can't get my head around is the fact that a few weeks ago, like, none of us knew what this thing was, and now we're watching the Taoiseach make a statement about, you know, closing schools, closing off public places. It has happened very quickly.
That shock announcement last night from Donald Trump about this wide-ranging travel ban, people travelling from Europe into the US.
I've just got a text there. This didn't even cross my mind while I was watching the statement from the Taoiseach, but I've an old school friend who's due to get married in a couple of weeks, and he's just texted there saying he thinks that they're going to have to postpone the wedding because you can't have gatherings of 100 people or more indoors. So it's I suppose that just shows you the kind of an impact this is going to have on people's everyday lives. Just got a message from my mum. She's in the local supermarket. She was actually down there at the time this press conference was called, so she was just doing her normal shop. She said, in the queue, and it's worse than Christmas, everyone's trolley's overflowing with food. So yeah, there's, I think, a bit of a panic going on now with regards to this. But we all just need to kind of take a deep breath, take a step back, and just listen to the advice and do everything we can possible to follow it. Wow, okay, this has been an interesting day. I've spent the last couple of hours kind of watching, reading the news, chatting to people on the phone, like probably everyone has been doing. And look, it's a significant event what's going on right now. There's no other way of putting it. And it's been an interesting experience watching it all unfold while I've been in this kind of self-imposed self-isolation, and kind of a little reminder as well to myself of like, all right, okay, this is something that, you know, I may actually have to do for real at some stage. But if this self-isolation experience has taught me anything, it's also that, you know, by consuming so much of this and being on your phone the whole time, reading the news and listening to stuff and watching stuff online, it can become very overwhelming very quickly. And now look, just to be very clear, it's incredibly important that we all heed the advice that's been given to us. But it's also very important to just look after our own heads during all of it. And I kind of touched on it a little bit yesterday, where I was talking about things you can do to keep your mind preoccupied, keep the head up if you do end up in self-isolation. But just even in general in this situation, it's going to be important for all of us to do that. There's a couple of articles that I've found very helpful actually reading them, and they're on rt.ie. One of them is 10 reasons not to panic around coronavirus, and it's very much fact-based and just a case of saying, look, here's things that we do know about this, and it's a good thing that we know them. There's also been a lot of misinformation around this whole thing, and all of us have had the WhatsApp messages coming in saying, you know, oh, I heard this or I heard that. There's a very good article, again on rt.ie, that is basically looking at the myths and looking at the facts around coronavirus. So that's another very useful one. Now, okay. Now, what time? Okay, so it's just coming up on 9 o'clock. So this is actually my last day of this kind of experimental, self-imposed self-isolation. Aware of the fact though, may genuinely have to do it at some stage, and that's just part and parcel of life for the next, you know, next little while. It does feel a bit funny, I have to say, going back out into the real world tomorrow. Well, it's very different to the one that was there when I started this literally only 4 days ago. Back to the day job for me tomorrow, but I would say if anyone does have to go into self-isolation or is worried about it and wants to know more about it, you should really check out the HSE guidelines, hse.ie. Main thing is, look after yourselves, heads down, we'll get through it. Good luck, I'll chat to you soon.